Stadium has proven to be very scary for tonight's starter, Brett Tomko. The Cardinal right-hander is continuing a personal quest for his first triumph in St. Louis. Alert the villagers. Cards baseball is next. Welcome to St. Louis and welcome to Busch Stadium. Inside, the Cardinals will try to avoid a sweep by the very good Florida Marlins. That's right. The Marlins are rolling and the Cardinals trying to get a win here at home. Welcome to the broadcast booth. I'm Joe Buck. That's Al Raboski. And what can you say? We've said it the last two nights. We've seen a better Marlin team. We've seen a very frustrating Cardinal ball club, and now they turn to Brett Tomko, who's never won here, to try to avoid the sweep.
Well, that sounds like a winning formula to me. I think that's the perfect scenario to win this ball game. Brett has actually pitched much better at Busch Stadium than he has on the road, but in 16 career starts, he is winless. How do you explain that?
We're going to talk about that in just a second. Let's talk about the standings, and we look at the Cardinals and where they sit in the Central Division. Right now, they're 3 out. The Cubs won last night, so they stayed 2.5 games out. The Astros are in first place as they pounded on the Mets. So the Cardinals are in third place. The wild card standings, it's Philadelphia on top with the Marlins right there, a half game out, and they have a chance tonight with a victory to pull even with the Phillies on top of the wild card standings. So I think while we can talk, and we will, I have plenty of thoughts on the Cardinals and the way they're playing right now, but you look at the Florida Marlins, I think, and we've said it the last two nights, they have every aspect of what a good ball club should have, and there's no reason why they can't win the wild card easily.
Absolutely, or win their division possibly. The Atlanta Braves wrap that up, but no, they've got good pitching, and we're going to see another good one tonight in Josh Becket. You know, Jack McKeon may be 72 years of age, but he's pretty smart, and he's challenged some of these young pitchers, and Becket one of them. One of the things he did is he made him pitch out of the bullpen for an inning the last game before the All-Star break, and then he skipped him to pitch Dontrelle Willis after the break. Well, it's made the kid a little mad, but you know what? Since he's gotten mad, he's pitched his best baseball.
Our Geico Direct moment is a quote from Brett Tomko regarding the fact that he has never won at Busch Stadium. This guy, as Al said, the numbers would tell you that he should have more wins here at home this year than on the road. The problem is he doesn't get a lot of run support here at home, and you would have to believe that it would weigh on him mentally as he heads to work. But what does he say? Honestly, it probably won't even cross my mind. I just don't think it does any good to think about things like that. So at least from that perspective, Al, if he can put it out of his mind, if you believe the Geico Direct moment quote, then that's a start. But I'm not so sure I believe it.
I'm not sure. When I read the entire quote and everything, I kind of shook my head and said, you know, obviously he just doesn't look in the mirror either. And he should be a much better pitcher. He's always been an underachiever. You brought him in here to be number 3 in the starting on the rotation scale. And, you know, he seemed like a perfect guy for Dave Duncan to work his magic on. But when you don't look in the mirror, maybe you don't improve.
Bo Hart, Bo Hart, Bo Hart. We are going to highlight Bo Hart and this incredible run he's been on since coming up from AAA Memphis. We'll do that when we come back after this break on Fox Sports Net.
Watching Fox Sports Net.
Busch Stadium on a beautiful night. We welcome you back to the ballpark. The Cardinals trying to avoid the sweep tonight. Bo Hart, who would have expected not only the way that he's hit the ball and been so effective in the leadoff spot. You look at the offensive numbers, but it's the defense. He has been absolutely phenomenal, making the sparkling play. And we hear from Bo Hart, his favorite so far in the big leagues.
Oh, man. Well, the leap and right here, that kind of spinning one, kind of gosh, the sliding one in Chicago. And then I have two more. The one against Pittsburgh up the middle, Kendall, and then the one at San Diego. The one at San Diego kind of sticks out because you know, Tony Rizzo came up to me and he said, "Hey, that's the best one yet." And I was like, "Wow, thank you for that." So those are the 4 that stick out.
It has been a lot of like, wow, how good is this guy? Where'd he come from? Let's see if he and the Cardinals can do something in this matchup between Jack McKee and Tony La Russa, the Florida Marlins and the St. Louis Cardinals. Brett Tomko, Josh Becket. Cardinal baseball is yours next. Pierre, Castillo, and Rodriguez with Lowell, Encarnacion, and Fox at first base, taking the place of Derek Lee, who was a late scratch, bad right shoulder. Hollingsworth, Gonzalez, and Josh Becket. 5 wins, 5 losses. Dave Duncan has been trying to figure out somehow, some way to get Brett Tomko to realize his full potential with the kind of pitching stuff he has, but that big ERA and no home victories, that's half of our Chrysler pitching matchup.
0-5 and 16 career starts here. And, you know, his ERA is much better. His batting average against much better here at home.
Strike one, tails over the outside corner to Juan Pierre.
That's a little scary how bad it's been on the road.
Coming off a win, however, on the road at Shea Stadium against the Mets. But even that start left a lot to be desired as a fly ball into right into the glove of Drew, and the leadoff man is gone. And Castillo will step in. The defense to help Brett Tomko get that first win at Busch Stadium. We go around the horn. It's brought to you by Auto Tire. Pujols, Hart, Renteria rolling on the infield. Or Martinez, Hart, Renteria rolling on the infield. In the outfield, it's Albert, Edmonds. We just saw J.D. Drew make that first play. Widger does the catching tonight, and Castillo does the looking at strike one here in his first at bat. He likes to look. He likes to look over his shoulder. He likes to look back in the outfield. He likes to look everywhere. He likes to slap it to the left side like that as he was trying to do it. It's 0-2.
He likes it when the third baseman is playing well in on the grass. Rowan just took a few steps back to the dirt now that it's 0-2. Yesterday he slapped one right inside of Rowan in the bag for a double.
0-2 pitch. Ball one. We talked about that last start. Tomko had a 7-2 lead in the middle innings against a diminished Mets team and didn't even get 6 innings under his belt. Put a lot on the bullpen, and that was a game that the Mets almost came back and won. Not to say that the 9th inning wasn't fluky, but that was an afternoon where, with the lead against that type team, that was an afternoon you expected more than 5 2/3 out of Brett Tomko.
Yeah, 7-8, if not complete game. Here at home, Brett has gone 0-4 and a 3.65 ERA in 10 home starts. On the road this year, 7-3. That sounds great, but an ERA over 7.5. In 13 road games, 12 starts. The team is 10-12 in Brett starts this year, averaging 5.5 runs per game.
Here's Ivan Rodriguez. He homered last night. Defensive swing, strike one. 15 home runs for Pudge Rodriguez, and that wasn't much of a swipe at the first pitch.
And he has been swinging the bat very well. You know, I was just remarking to you that we always think of Matheny as the Iron Man. Mike has played in 101 games this year. This is Pudge Rodriguez's 100th game. So he is definitely proving that he is healthy at least this year.
It would be nice for Brett Tomko to have a 1-2-3 first inning. Mike knows better than to think this will be a night off. It never
Right.
is. 0-2 pitch to Rodriguez. 1-2. Tomko also has the highest batting average against.
Oh, he leads the National League in hits allowed, runs allowed, and third in the league with allowing 25 home runs. And he has very good stuff.
That's the frustration.
Yeah. I mean,
if this guy couldn't pitch or he didn't have great stuff, then you would be less frustrated by it. But the frustration comes because he's got such talent with that right arm.
I think Dave Duncan, when they acquired him, and a lot of it was at his urging, he thought a minimum of 16 wins.
Nice play. We talked about him in the open, and that might not make his top 4, but it's still a good play to his right. A laser shot off the bat of Ivan Rodriguez after a half in St. Louis. No score. Good start for Tomko. Sportsnet is brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. by your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on Fox Sports Net. And by Pennzoil, not just oil, Pennzoil. Bo Hart, a nice play to end the top of the first, and he gets a chance to lead it off with his .306 average. The Marlins have seen Hart go 0 for 7 in this series. Beckett gets ready for his start against Hart. Edmonds, Pujols, Martinez, Rowland, and Drew in the middle. Renteria, Widger, and Tomko, the good hitting pitcher, batting ninth. You see Pujols, that 20-game hitting streak, up over 400 during the streak. Glad you're with us on Fox Sports Net, and that is hook foul. Strike one from Beckett, the other half of our Chrysler pitching matchup.
One of these young kids that has a great arm, and he has had some elbow problems this year. It shut him down for a couple times, but very good fastball, better than Penny's, and a very good overhand curveball. Mixes in a few changeups.
Little shake of the head from Beckett as he missed high with ball one to Bo Hart.
These fish really haven't seen the legend of Bo Hart, have they?
No. They're not even aware that the Post-Dispatch already had his bust made for Cooperstown. Into right center field, and Juan Pierre puts it away. Today's Around the Horn is brought to you by Auto Tire. Jack McKeon stacks it up this way. No surprises except two changes. Hollinsworth in left. And Andy Fox is over at first base, taking the place of Derek Lee, who had that shoulder bark at him again today. It caused him to miss a couple of games, break a games played streak. But it's Fox over there tonight. And that can't hurt the feelings of Brett Tomko as Edmonds stands in. Jim hit a double in his final at bat last night. 1 out of 7 in this series. His first time back in the lineup since the Cardinals were last at home. So 3 consecutive starts for Edmonds, who takes a strike.
2-game losing streak for the Redbirds, and the Cardinals been held to just 3 runs and 11 hits in the first 2 games of this series. So a lot of offers or not much production.
High and tight, 2-1. I don't think anybody came away last night saying, what's all the fuss about? I think everybody realized just how good this kid is.
11-2 now.
Dontrell Willis, last night's starter and winner. 21-year-old showed a lot, went 8 strong. Edmonds takes low, it's 3-1. Albert Pujols is creeping his way toward home plate, hoping he gets a chance to bat with Edmonds on. There's Albert.
Well, Jimmy's about to be on.
3-1 pitch. Full count. Every swing still has a little hitch at the end of it from Jim Edmonds. This place is quiet.
Well, you know, you never really look like you're a lively team when you're not swinging the bat well. And so the Cardinal offense has been a little bit quiet. They're still tied for the first place average-wise.
You can see by these swings that Edmonds may be good enough to be back out in the lineup, and he is feeling better, and that's good news, but he is not totally right yet. Still guarding against that strain in that right shoulder of his.
This time of year, a lot of nagging injuries don't recover until a month after the season.
How about a 1-out walk, and that will bring Pujols to the plate with a man on and a man out. Last night, Dontrell Willis gave up 2 runs in the first inning and then shut down the Cardinals. Fun to watch with the delivery, and then for the Marlins, more important than that, the results. 11-2. A lot of swings and misses, awkward swings, guys not picking up the baseball, and there are his numbers from last night.
Well, you know, you don't walk many. Got a lot of ground balls and only let 1 fly out of the ballpark off the bat of Eduardo Perez.
Beckett deals, and ball one up and in. Again, there is quite a discrepancy between the radar gun that we have at the top of our screen and the radar gun here at the ballpark. So again, it's you pick what you want. The one at the ballpark is considerably faster and harder than the one on the screen. 1-0 pitch. That's into right field. Well hit. Back is Encarnacion at the wall. Another hit. 21 straight. They're going to bring Edmonds around. He will score, and it's 1-0 on another Pujols double.
And congratulations to Albert Pujols, 21-game hitting streak, but more importantly, his 100th RBI. And with the batting average that leads the major leagues, I will predict that he is going to go and become the first player in Major League history to have 3 consecutive years of 330, 100 RBIs, 100 at least 30 home runs, 100 RBIs. And will he get the runs scored? I'll have to check it out.
While Al checks that out, we congratulate Bob Furlong, tonight's contestant in the True Value Pick and Predict sweepstakes. Bob Furlong has already won a $25 gift certificate to Tani's True Value in Albers, Illinois. If Albert hits for the cycle, then Bob, and he already has a double, wins $100,000. Somebody wake up Bob Furlong. Tell him to tune us in. For details or to enter, visit your local True Value hardware store.
Hey, I went to Matt Reardon, our national sales manager for Fox. I went and talked to some of our True Value franchisees, and very happy and very nice people. Albert has 99 runs scored.
So I'd say sure bet that he'll get back to the century mark there. With the number of hits he has, with the kind of lineup the Cardinals have, that's a cinch. 1 ball, 1 strike, runner at second, 1 out. Last 10 games. Every month, Tino Martinez, except for a disastrous May, has been over the 300 mark with his batting average, which might surprise a few people. 1-1 delivery from Beckett. There's a strike. Problem is the power hasn't been what Tino Martinez has wanted, and the RBIs, while solid, are not spectacular. Defensively, they play Martinez to pull. That'll get out of play.
Josh Beckett, second pick overall in the country a few years back in '99. And I was with John Henry, who was the owner of the Marlins, one night when he was in town, and was predicting how quick he was going to be an all-star in the big leagues.
Just blown past Tino Martinez. 96 on the radar gun here, 90 on the screen, and I'm guessing Tino Martinez between the two would pick 96.
They recently did a poll of managers and coaches and predict like the young kids that were like 24 and under, who was going to judge the tools, and Beckett was rated as the best fastball and third best breaking ball and the best young pitcher overall.
So he just fits right in. More good young talent. This Florida team is loaded with it. And it's one thing to dump older players, veteran players, high-priced players. It's another to get rid of those guys and get good young prospects and people whom you can build around in the future, and the Marlins seem to have accomplished that. 1 ball, 1 strike. They've used their draft well.
Yeah, very strong drafting, and then they've made some shrewd trades. Some of them were byproducts of the fire sale when people said, look, they're getting rid of all that major league talent, but they acquired a lot of strong talent in return.
The 1-1 pitch to Roland. That's a broken bat and a foul out of play. And the other aspect to it is to not only get your hands on young players, but then to develop them. And in the minor leagues, they have obviously done some things right to allow these pitchers and position players, a guy like Cabrera, shoot right up to the big leagues. But these pitchers, somebody down there is doing a good job of them. And Jack McKeon is the one that's reaping all the benefits.
Yeah, that's the point. I think he thought that he was going to have some pretty good young talent to work with, but then when Dontrell Willis comes out of nowhere, Miguel Cabrera comes out of Double-A with Dontrell Willis to go along with the good young talent here, and now he's just trying to convince them how to pitch and how to win. There's a difference. You know, a lot of guys can throw a ball, they can run the base, they can swing the bat, but you've got to make sacrifices in order to win.
Here is a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball well outside. Tom Mee, our director, and I were thinking the same thing. That looks like Kent Bottenfield.
Well, that is Rosie Rosenthal, their new pitching coach.
2-2 pitch. Scooped up by Rodriguez. You know, when I said Kent Bottenfield, C.J. Sherry, the Cardinal traveling secretary, perked up behind his desk down there. One of C.J.'s all-time favorites in a Cardinal uniform. But that's Rosenthal. And this is Roland. And that's Pujols. And I'm Joe, and that's Al. 1-0. The Cardinals lead on a walk to Edmonds and an RBI double for Pujols. 21 straight for Albert. And that's a tester. Well, not anymore. Now they're going to say that Pujols was out of the baseline, so all Lowell had to do was glove it. And the inning comes to a close. Albert Pujols, another night, another extra base hit, and an RBI. 1-0 after one. Lead after one. You can get a double dose of Cardinals magic with a hot new issue of Cardinals Game Day magazine and the all-new 2003 Cardinals yearbook. Albert Pujols comes to life in the new Game Day magazine. Subscribe tonight and get a special price in the Cardinals yearbook. 314-982-7336. Mike Lowell takes a ball low and away. And we're underway in the second. A perfect first inning for Brett Tomko.
Nice numbers for Mike Lowell.
That's low. 2 balls, no strikes. Great numbers for Mike Lowell. 290 average, the 30 home runs, well above his career high, 92 RBIs. And the centerpiece in this good Marlins lineup. But this time he's under it. Pops it up to Pujols in left. First 4 retired by Tomko. Daddy, do you think Tomko will win his first at Busch Stadium?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, I'll say this, Al. If Tomko's going to win his first at Busch Stadium, I think you should go overboard. I think you should overdo it if you're Brett Tomko. And I think you should go crazy and throw a no-hitter or some perfect game or something like that.
Absolutely. You're going to do it? Do it right.
That's what George Michael sang many years ago. Different time in my life. 2 balls, no strikes. 1 out, nobody on. Encarnacion is only 5 of 8 in this series. Somehow he's been retired 3 times by Cardinal pitching.
You won't believe this because I didn't. You know what his average is against the Cardinals career-wise?
Well, subtract a few more points.
What did you think? What would you think?
Well, I know it's crazy here at Busch Stadium, but I'm sure overall it's not as high as we think. Am I going down the right path?
Yeah.
290, 300.
278 before that in bat, but 5 home runs, 19 RBIs, and I think we can remember every home run and every RBI.
Here's Andy Fox, who was tapped on the shoulder right before the start of this game, and he took off his tennis shoes, put on his spikes, and they said, "You're playing first base tonight for the injured Derek Lee." was just bothered by a sore shoulder, and they say it's nothing too serious, but he didn't want to go tonight. So it's Andy Fox, the former Yankee, part of their World Championship in 1996. 1-0 pitch from Tomko. 2-0.
Andy 5 hits over his last 22 games, 139 average, and on 169 his last 41 games. Got off to a great start, batting .375 first 9. More of a pinch hitter.
3-0.
Played 7 different positions in his major league career, with the pitching and catching as exceptions. And Mordecai's played 8 different positions.
3-0 pitch. 3-1. We don't know anybody that's on this Florida bench. We haven't seen any of them. They haven't needed to use any pinch hitters.
Well, they're using Hollinsworth today. He's going to be in there for Cabrera. He's on deck hitter.
Little pop-up. How about 2 perfect innings from Brett Tomko? If you're gonna do it right. Throw a no-hitter. After an inning and a half on a double by Pujols, Cardinals lead by 1. 9. Ground ball to first. That's fair. Nice play by Fox. 1 out. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Nice play by Andy Fox to his left to take an extra base hit away from Mr. Drew.
Now this ball with JD speed, if it gets by Fox and goes down the corner, it's 2 if not 3, but a nice flip to his pitcher Comer, and JD's out. Hey, happy birthday from Bob and Dorothy to a young lady in Moberly, Missouri named Christine Manuel, 87 years young. Happy birthday.
With 1 out, we know where Tom Mee's mind is as ball 1 misses high to Edgar Renteria. You should see the party they have up here in the press level after every game now. The crew, it's just
well,
like,
they just,
gosh.
You know, it's.
Do people have homes? Where is it? 2 out.
Happy birthday, Edgar. Edgar's 28 years of age today. Didn't give himself a present.
Beckett looked up, down, and all around. Finally found it. 2 out. Base is empty. Widger coming up.
Edgar facing his former mates and hits him on the heel of the glove. Locates it, throws him out. Throws a sinker. Good sinker to first. Where is it? There it is. It's that white thing.
So with the bases empty, here is Chris Widger. Strike 1.
Hey. Our true value pick and predict. Tomko gets his first win. Widger's getting a home run today.
Okay. I like Mr. Furlong and his pick of Albert Pujols. I mean, if I'm going to enter any contest that involves Cardinal hitting, how could anybody pick anybody but Albert Pujols?
You wouldn't pick Widger?
I mean, nothing against Widger, but you're talking about an MVP candidate.
$100,000.
Do you think Furlong's watching?
Oh, I hope so.
I think his friends called him. Tonight's your night, man. He's already got a double.
He's already got his $25 gift certificate. He's part way to that $100 grand. You know, just you don't get part of it though. You got to get it all.
You do. What do you get it for $25? A Phillips screwdriver and a bucket and screws?
Hey, they got good specials.
Off the hands, tough play. A little short hop, and Gonzalez takes care of Widger. Each side goes in order in the second. It'll be Hollinsworth, Gonzalez, and Beckett coming up for the Marlins. In the third, it's 1-0 Cardinals. The RBI by Pujols. Joined former Cardinal Tom Herr along with catcher Mike Matheny and Wayne Hagan on the 2004 Cardinals cruise. They sail from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on Saturday, January 24, and they return Saturday, January 31. You may fall in love on the Cardinals cruise this year. Here's Wayne Hagan. He's taken. Cardinal players and staff will be available for photographs and autograph sessions, question and answer sessions, and cocktail parties. Call Altair Travel at 314-968-9600 or 1-800-844-5568 if you're interested.
I talked to Pat Blassie yesterday from Altair. She said that new ship, and it's a brand new ship that they're taking this year on Holland America, just a very, very classy cruise line. Said the color is so vibrant and just guarantees to be the best ship they've ever sailed on.
Why do they always have to have a new ship every year?
They make them. They're just cranking those things out. And
I mean, do they just trash the thing and then they land back in Fort Lauderdale and Marty and the gang come off the boat? Let's get them next year.
Well, you know, Fredbird does leave a few souvenirs.
No.
Usually at 3 o'clock in the morning in the disco.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Todd Hollandsworth hitting .257. This guy was Rookie of the Year one year.
96. When the Dodgers had that run of 5 consecutive Rookies of the Year. He's seen his batting average fall from 300 on May 28th.
Reaching for it. He was reaching. 7 straight.
Down to its 257 by going 188. Tomko's going to do it.
Let's not go crazy here. Let's just start small and think victory first.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
You're the one with a perfect game theme.
Here's Alex Gonzalez. He's the number 8 hitter. The pitcher Becket on deck, and that's ball 1. Thing is, Tomko has fallen behind the last few hitters and still been able to come back and get him.
Gonzalez really in a tailspin. He's 0 for 7 on this road trip.
Nice play. Only the pitcher stands in Tomko's way as he tries to go perfect through the first 3. Tickets are available. We've said this entire series, and I'm sure we will tomorrow night as well. If you want to catch the Cardinals and Phillies may not at that point be in the driver's seat in the wild card race if the Marlins keep playing like this, but they're up there and the Cardinals are chasing them. August 22nd through 24th, August 26th through 28th, the Cubs. There are tickets remaining. And then a September series against Houston. I think you can make your bets right now that that'll be worth something. The 19th through the 21st of September, the Cardinals in Houston. 1 ball, 1 strike on Becket.
Can you believe for that Cubs series there's 15,000 to 20,000 seats available for every game?
I can't.
Unbelievable.
I can't imagine that happening.
I think it's one of the deals where everyone thinks, oh, those games are sold out. But 15,000 to 20,000 seats are available for all the games in the Cubs series. That Phillies series, there's even more.
2 balls, 2 strikes. I don't think you can underline enough the importance that Brett Tomko will have in the Cardinals the rest of their second half and any hope they have, in my mind, of getting into the playoffs. A lot of it rests on the right shoulder of Brett Tomko. If he continues to disappoint, I think the Cardinals have a shot to continue playing the way they're playing. If Tomko steps up, Morris comes back, it may be a different story. 2 hops to the shortstop, Renteria. Perfect through the first 3. So this is more like it. And Tomko has to feel good about this start. Cards up 1-0. This portion of Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Subway. Try one of Subway's chicken international subs on new gourmet bread. Subway, eat fresh. And by Jim Trenary Chevrolet, where you can count on extraordinary Trenary discounts. That's an eagle from out at Grant's Farm.
Bald eagle, to be exact.
Are there other types of eagles?
Sure. They're not all bald eagles.
Just asking. Don't jump on me. Just making conversation while Becket warms himself up. He had that ground out to end the top of the third inning and really winded himself going down to first base. So took his time, took a seat on the bench, and now he's ready to go. Tomko, who can handle the bat, first up in the bottom of this third inning.
Tomko's going to get a home run in his first victory. Really?
Yeah. You've lost it. You've completely lost your mind. Tomko's talking to Ivan Rodriguez as he stands in.
Yeah, I got good stuff tonight.
Strike one. The mask of Mike Winters, the home plate umpire, looks too big to me. Does it look too big to you?
No.
1 ball, 1 strike.
That's why you're the best, Joe. Looks too small there.
Yeah, it does. I take it back. 1-1 on Tomko. Bo Hart will follow, and then Jim Edmonds. There's a base hit. This is his night, people.
See? I told you.
This is the night for number 30 to get number 1.
It's his 12th hit of the season, and he's pushing 300 now. It's only the second hit the Cardinals have gotten, and Tomko helps himself, and that's a good start here in the third.
So now how will Tony La Russa use this at bat by Bo Hart? Mike Lowell is in, at least guarding against a possible bunt. I mean, he is way in at third base. Like it's a given he's going to bunt. Does he not know the legend of Hart? That's down into the corner. Slicing foul. Strike one. And a nice play by some fan down the right side.
You know, last time we had a fan catch a ball down
Can't
there.
think of that guy's name. Russ Booty.
Booty. Where's Russ when we need him? He would. Russ wants to be here on Tomko's first win at Busch Stadium night.
The seat that spawned 1,000 stories and created a legend. That's now known as
Bootyville.
0-1 pitch. 0-1 pitch. Hart into right field. Encarnacion. Nice play. 1 on, 1 out. And Hart is now 0 for 9 in this series. Big reason why the Cardinals have struggled scoring. Here comes Jim Edmonds.
I remember talking with Torborg during spring training. He said the one thing we have done this year is we've improved our outfield defense. And Encarnacion has a chance to become the first Florida Marlin to go an entire season without committing an error. Outfielder.
Think of the guy that they traded, though, to get Pierre.
Dempster. I mean, yeah, Preston Wilson. For Pierre, the center fielder. They got Dempster for Encarnacion. He acts like he's got a groin injury. Encarnacion out and right.
Here's Edmonds, and strike one. Preston Wilson has 108 RBIs, and he's the guy that Pujols is chasing. That was at the start of the day. Colorado has already won their game over Philadelphia. We'll find out if Wilson had any RBIs, but if he didn't, Pujols is 8 RBIs short of Preston Wilson. He's 4 home runs shy of Barry Bonds, and leading by plenty in the batting average race. 0-1 pitch. Ball and a strike. Number 2 in the league is Helton, hitting .354. Pujols right around .373, .374 with that first inning double. Went up to get it. 1-2. Albert is on deck. By the way, who's number 2 in the National League in home runs? Richie Sexton of Milwaukee with 31.
Had another multi-home run game the other night.
1-2 pitch. Beckett gave up a leadoff hit to Tomko. Bo Hart made a bid for a hit to right, but it just stayed in the air long enough for Encarnacion to get there. Jim Edmonds is in the hole 1-2. One on, one out. And a nice pick by Rodriguez. He didn't do it the Matheny way, but he scooped it up with a backhand.
See that good curveball that he has. Can do that with these modern catcher's gloves. The old pizza glove have been very difficult.
2-2 pitch. That's a little high. Full count. Edmonds walked his first time on a 3-2 pitch and then scored in the double to right center by Pujols.
What's he going to get here? Number one.
Runner goes on ball 4, and that presents a 2-on 1-out situation for Pujols. That was Tomko taken off. Second time Edmonds has walked, and that presented trouble for Becket back in the first because of old number 5.
You know, that is interesting, Joe, that Tony would send Tomko on a 3-2 pitch with a guy that strikes out a lot when a great throwing catcher. Could have been very easy a double play.
But as it is, it's ball 4, and there they are, 2 on with only 1 out. Pujols already a double to his credit. 21-game hitting streak is alive. And a high breaking ball is called a strike this time. Albert at 407 during the streak, 17 of his 100 RBIs. Strike 2. Mr. Furlong is watching.
Getting a little nervous.
Great interest. He already has a double. Pujols was his pick for the pick and predict sweepstakes.
Albert, first in the major leagues in hitting, second in runs scored, first in doubles.
Oh, an 0-2 pitch that was right out over the plate, and Albert fouled it straight back.
First in the National League in home batting average, night batting average, and second in the National League with a .414 batting mark with runners in scoring position. You like that, Mr. Furlong, don't you?
I can't think of his first name. Tim will dig it out for us. Bob Furlong. 0-2 pitch. Up the middle. Nice play. Gonzalez a step and throw. That was fantastic by Alex Gonzalez. To his left, got to it, stopped his momentum with a slide, and turns a 6-3 double play. Good effort by the shortstop. That'll do it for the first 3. Still 1-0 Cardinals. Our Aflac trivia question is, see that sphere? What is the average lifespan of a major league game ball?
I like this one. You know, Joe, there actually was a game played in the old days with one baseball, entire baseball game played with one baseball. Now, as soon as one touches the dirt, it is off to the funny farm.
James Boyd was acting in that little cameo there.
He was
Nice
juggling
work.
with one ball. I've seen you juggle.
Yeah.
On our.
It took me 4 hours to make that happen. Juan Pierre first up and a ball inside. 9 in a row retired by Tomko here at the outset. Pierre fly to right his first time up. Pretty good pitch. 2-0.
Once again, pitching behind.
Two and 1. 2-1 pitch. That's fair ball. Juan Pierre never left, and Pierre is complaining, saying that that batted ball hit his foot in the batter's box. That's why he didn't go. Not that it didn't end up on the right side of the line. He claims that ball hit him in the foot.
Well, let's see if we can see. Hit dirt, so it might have glanced off the back, just grazed the side of his foot.
Jack McKeon saying, check the shoe polish. It's on the ball.
You remember that game in World Series play, but there was such a long argument. Anybody could have taken the ball and scuffed it on the black shoes and got a mark on the ball. They'll ask for help. Now they're going to look and see for the old shoe polish.
Well, Tomko was just rubbing the ball with his hands. So he's
see the ball hit the dirt, they replace it, and Jack, it has no shoe polish on it.
And Pierre is still pleading his case, but to give Tomko credit, he stood out there and nonchalantly just rubbed the ball with his hands in case there was any shoe polish on it. Mike Winters hardly looked at it and just fired it out of play.
Trader Jack, he's been around a long time. He was managing in the minor leagues when Tony La Russa was managing before he got called to the big leagues 25 years ago. Jack was at Omaha, and I think Tony was at Iowa.
I think what Jack McKeon is saying is ask for some help. Why not get together and see if somebody else saw it glance off his foot, but that isn't the case. And who knows if that's what he's saying, but you would have to believe that an argument lasting that long over that play had to do with maybe Winters getting some help, but fell on deaf ears.
And Juan Pierre's the kind of guy that, if he didn't think it didn't hit him, he would have ran.
If you do run,
you're confirming.
You're confirming that the ball never hit your foot.
Right.
Castillo took a strike. Meanwhile, Tomko is 0-2 on the number 2 hitter in this inning, with Ivan Rodriguez on deck. The best start Tomko has had as a Cardinal came in Florida against the Marlins.
Complete game, wasn't it?
Yep. And I mean, he was outstanding.
I will say this, his best pitched games, he's really, in most cases, come up empty.
On the inside corner as Tomko gets his first strikeout. 2 out. Rodriguez coming up. The Chinook State in history. Go all the way back to 2001 following a close play. Steve McMichael is ejected from Wrigley Field just before the 1985 World Champion Chicago Bears sings "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." McMichael announced over the PA that he'll have a talk with the ump. I remember that. Remember that night?
Yep.
He was upset over a call. The crowd was on the ump. And McMichael, the former Chicago Bear, was about to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Got the crowd all lathered up again, and they kicked him out. I bet Fremming was a part of that crew.
Oh, he'd have to be.
I'm just guessing. Good rip by Rodriguez. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Wasn't he that year he was the self-anointed commissioner?
Who's that, Fremming?
Yeah. Remember he had a press conference in Montreal to respond to somebody else's criticism?
I don't remember that. You might have dreamed that.
That could have been true too, because remember I lost my mind a while back.
I'm having these dreams about Bruce Fremming. He's sitting behind a table with microphones, wearing a nice big hat. 2 balls and a strike. That's into right center field. Edmonds works his magic, and that'll do it. How much better do you want to be? Can't do any better than Tomko. Everybody that stepped to the plate has been retired. Roland due up second in the bottom of this 4th. Good start tonight for Tomko and the Cardinals. They lead 1-0, and they'll have the meat of the order to the plate, the 4, 5, and 6 men. Starting with Tino Martinez, then Scott Rowland, and finishing at least with The 3 due up. J.D. Drew, hopefully not in the inning. They'll just keep on going. As Josh Becket goes back to the hill. St. Louis ARC, an area group, is at the ballpark tonight with Bank of America's Community Corner program. For details on how your group may be a part of the Bank America Community Corner, you can stop by your local Bank of America branch. Bank of America bringing higher standards to our youth. Tina Martinez waves at a changeup, comes up empty, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Two and one. Tino struck out on a fastball over the inside part of the plate. His first time up. We have not made our guesses, and the answer's coming on the average lifespan of a big league ball. 2-2 is the count. Are we talking
minutes or innings?
Yes, minutes, innings,
pitches. Oh.
I will say 9.2.
I will say 7.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. A clunker to the right side, and Castillo makes the easy play. 1 out. Our Aflac trivia question: the average lifespan of a Major League game ball. There it is. 7 pitches. That away, Al. Cheater.
See, it's my night. I got it.
You got help.
I got it. Tomko's get his first win. Widger gets a home run. Tomko gets a home run. 7 pitches.
There's a line drive and a left and a base hit that falls in front of Hollinsworth. Pitch was up and Rolen hopped on it. 1 on, 1 out.
Scott Rolen's going to hit a 1-hopper base hit to Hollinsworth.
Can't look back. That really doesn't count.
That don't count. I didn't see it the first time. He's going to get a pitch out away from him. He's going to have a good swing. Line drive out there. Hollinsworth a little tentative, lays back on it.
You got it. You're amazing. J.D. Drew stands in. He grounded out on a diving stop by Andy Fox to his left. Take an extra base hit away. Fox is playing first. That slides outside for ball 1. One-0 pitch. 2-0. I am going, and I don't mean to question anything that's going on here, but I'm going to tell you that our gun is not working.
It's putting up numbers.
It's putting up numbers, that's right, but they have nothing to do with the pitches that are coming toward home plate. That high riding fastball registered at 80.
Hey, it's tied into the fantasy pitch.
On the inside corner. 2-1.
We get an A for effort, though, don't we? We give you a number.
It's coming up with something. Becket trying to get around a 1-out hit by Rolen. Drew up. Renteria will follow. Cardinals lead 1-0. 3 hits to the Marlins, none. Good rip, but too much juice on it. It's 2-2. Drew has hit 12 home runs and his average is .288. So he has not had the impact one would have hoped for coming out of spring training on this Cardinal team. 30 RBIs. 2-2 pitch. Hard hit. Gonzalez takes another one away to his left and turns it into a double play. Hello. You can understand why they were willing to trade Renteria with a guy like Gonzalez waiting in the wings. He's made 2 terrific plays. And we go to the 5th. 1-0 Cardinals. There's your score. Here's what's coming up on Saturday, just 2 days from now. 12 o'clock Central on Fox. It's the Braves who are running away with the National League East. And that's saying something, the way the Phillies and the Marlins have played. Taking on the Cardinals. Game 2 of that 3-game set. Cardinals will be featured on national television twice this weekend, Saturday, Sunday. And here is Mike Lowell. First up, looking for the first Florida hit. Tomko took something off, and that's strike one. Lowell, Encarnacion, and then Fox. That just missed the corner.
Atlanta Braves are probably already bedded down in St. Louis. I'm sure they go to bed about this time.
8-13.
Yeah, they're that kind of team.
Lowell went, couldn't hold up, 1-2. Tomko's had a nice pace about his work tonight, but I guess that's the case when you retire every batter you faced.
Yeah, you don't have to think about or take time like your buddy Traxel would mint on.
He's pitching tonight, and he and the Mets lead at Houston 1-0 in the third inning.
We're Traxel fans tonight.
Traxel's had a good year. I was kind of surprised they didn't trade him. Why not? 2-2 pitch. Lowell. So you think Leo Mazzoni and Bobby Cox are kicked back somewhere, doing a little scouting on this? Well, now Mazzoni's forward. Now he's kicked back. Now he's forward.
The Mad Rocker?
Yeah.
Mad Rocker's rocking someplace.
Watch in this game. 2-2 pitch. Into center in the first hit of the night. It's a leadoff hit. Lowell is on, and that is no surprise that it's Lowell who gets it. He is now 5 out of 11 in this series, and Encarnacion will step in.
Well, you made one prediction, and it's gone now, your perfect name. But I'm the one saying Tomko's going to get his first major league or first Busch Stadium win. I'm still in line. Your history.
Encarnacion. Fly to right his first time up. And that's going to be a tough play. Roland's going to have to be the guy. He's good. One out, down to second. The tying run, Lowell. Big body came flashing across that infield, and once it gets in his glove and he's got a chance to get an out at first, you can put it in the book in pen.
6'4", 240, but plays like a shortstop, and his arm was what separates him from others. You know, Mike Lowell for Florida Marlins, very good third baseman. He's got the second best fielding percentage in the National League to Scott Rowland, who has the best.
Rowland made an error last night. He has 9 on the season. Here's Fox. And he fouled out his first time up. Over to the third baseman, Rowland. Tying run at second. 1 out. Here in the top of the 5th inning. And a ball inside. The pitching matchups for the weekend set against the Atlanta Braves. As they, as Al has already said, are probably in town. Facero and Russ Ortiz on Friday. Garrett Stevenson and Shane Reynolds on Saturday. Woody Williams and Horacio Ramirez on Sunday. 1 ball, 1 strike.
They won today in Milwaukee, and I think that's something like 6 wins in a row for Hampton.
They have needed to get Hampton rolling, and that's a good sign for the Braves.
And remember that Facero, this was his scheduled night, but Tomko pitches well against Florida, and Florida Marlins just eat up left-handed starters.
A 1-1 pitch. 2 balls, 1 strike on Fox with Hollinsworth on deck. These Marlins will go to Milwaukee after this series. 3-1. It'll be Pavano against Ben Sheets. Their other 2 starters, and we've seen 3 very good ones in this series, with Dontrell Willis starting last night.
Brad Penny.
And the other 2 are Carl Pavano and Mark Redmond.
And Redmond, they say, has probably been the most consistent guy all season after a horrendous spring training.
Back to Tomko, and Lowell holds at second, 2 out. That will give us our 4 key matchup. We look at the Cardinals' remaining schedule. 9 games against the NL East. Cardinals haven't seen the Phillies yet. 6 games against the West. At Colorado, which is never fun. At Arizona, and 32 games remaining against the NL Central. So it's still all sitting out there in front of this Cardinal team. I know Tony La Russa has been bothered by the way the Cardinals have played the first 2 games of this series. And really Sunday in New York wasn't pretty either.
No.
Runner at second, 2 out. If this Cardinal group, and it's not any one guy, but as a team, if they're sitting around waiting for something to happen, waiting for a deal to get done, saying, well, we can push it off to next week we'll kick it in and we'll make up some ground or take off and get in first place in the NL Central, they are, in my mind, in serious trouble.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. You better worry about the game you're playing right now.
1-0 pitch. That's foul. And I think it would be a shame to say that a payroll of over $80 million with this much talent on it needs a lifeline to be thrown to them by the front office in the way of a trade. Now, that being said, the Cardinals are trying to make a deal and trying to get somebody to help the rotation, but it may not happen.
I asked Tony a month or so ago about, well, is it firm that you can't expand the payroll or something?
There's Tomko getting around a leadoff hit. Good work, Brett. 5 scoreless innings. We'll wait for his response in the bottom of the 5th. Nice night. Sit back and enjoy. Halfway through this one, 1-0 St. Louis. Edgar Renteria stands in. They're in the 4th inning at Houston with the Mets on top 2-0 behind Steve Traxel against Tim Redding. It'll be Renteria, then Widger, then Tomko, the bottom 3 against Becket.
Did you see who the Astros picked up yesterday?
I did not.
Rick White. Off of waivers. Sent Sarloos back to the minor leagues.
So they've added Dan Maselli and Rick White. That's another thing. You know, I think the Cardinals are fortunate that the Astros weren't able to work out a deal for Sidney Ponson or somebody else to help their ailing rotation. The Cubs made moves and they are evidently looking for more as Renteria goes after one on his hands. It's 1-2. Our Bank of America higher standards. 11th inning, game 7, 97 World Series, and a very young Edgar Renteria who turns 28 today. That'll draw a flag in the NFL, taking your helmet off. Wins the World Series with a base hit. Scoring counsel. That's out of play. Still 1-2.
Edgar, 28 years of age today, and this is his 8th season in the big leagues.
Cardinals gave up some young talent to get him, but it was well worth it. There are the career numbers in his 8th season. 72 home runs. Last 2 years he's had the top average among all major league shortstops as he stands in hitting .329.
3rd in the National League in batting, 3rd in National League with hits.
To the left side, this will not be easy, and Gonzalez can't even get it out of his glove. Even had he picked it out of his glove cleanly, I think that would have been a base hit, and so does the scorer. They rule it a leadoff infield single.
Yeah, it's going to be deep into the hole. You see him circling, trying to get around it to get some kind of momentum behind his throw, and then the ball just popped out of his. As he's making the throw, it just pops out. He didn't have a good handle on it. It looked like it almost palmed the ball. And nobody's at second base as Lowell and there you see Lowell pointing second base as Castillo went to back up first base, and Lowell and the shortstop both Gonzalez went for the ball after he shot putted it.
I was about to say before that first pitch that this could be a spot where you see a number 8 hitter bunt to get a runner up for a pitcher who's on deck.
Very good point, Joe. But he's still going to hit a home run tonight.
Okay. Well, that being said, then I'd have him swing.
Well, I thought you were going to really put pressure on me.
After Widger did not show bunt on the first pitch, which was a ball, Lowell backed up at least 5 steps. I mean, he's at a deep third base.
And that would make me think about the possibility of the bunt even more.
Why not? We've seen him bunt for a hit. Did so over the weekend in New York. How about that? Hit and run, and the Marlins sniffed it out. Tony La Russa just got his pocket picked.
Well, see, that's where I made the point earlier when they, you got a great throwing catcher, and then he got the benefit of a pitch out, so Renteria is dead. You see Widger trying to protect earlier, but remember they had Tomko running with Edmonds on a 3-2 pitch. I think Tony's at that point made the statement that he's going to play very, very aggressive because runs have been hard to come by.
1-1 to Widger. Swinging for that Ravaski home run and a pop-up on the infield for Castillo, 2 out. In the 6th inning, it'll be Gonzalez, Beckett, and Pierre, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. As Tomko now bats with 2 out in the bottom of the 5th with the bases empty. You could see that pensive look on the face of Tony La Russa, like, they picked up our signs. What just happened? With 2 out, Tomko, who's already singled, takes a strike. He has one of only 4 Cardinal hits. The 0-1 delivery from Beckett. Ball and a strike. That's into right field, and Encarnacion over the shoulder to end the inning. Encarnacion making it look easy out in right. Beckett making it look easy on the mound. Still 1-0 St. Louis. This portion of Cardinal baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest lasting trucks on the road, and by Geico Direct, the sensible alternative. Brett Tomko has been sensational. He had the win down in Florida early in the season. Gave the Cardinals a little taste of what he could do. He has not returned to that form really since, and here he is against the Marlins, turning in another beauty on Thursday. August 21st, the Cardinals play the Pirates. It's AMC Theaters Action Photo Night. All fans 15 and under with a paid admission receive an 8x10-inch action photo of Edgar Renteria and a coupon for free popcorn at AMC Theaters. That's Thursday, August 21. Cards and Pirates, 314-421-2400, or log on to stlcardinals.com and join us at the park. Good pitch. Gonzalez, who has played very well defensively, turned 2 sparkling double plays. He is at the plate with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. 2-1. Cute little Cardinal fan.
Yeah, a lot of Cardinal fans here, including Ruth Ann, Beth, and Gina. And it's also Gina's birthday at her favorite place.
And how about that youngster?
And that youngster was very, very cute.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Gonzalez hitting .277, takes ball 3. Alex has hit 13 home runs. Again, the Phillies lost today at Colorado, so with a win here tonight, the Marlins would be tied at the top of the wild card standings. 3-2 to Gonzalez. That's hit well into left center field. Will it hang up? Edmonds on the run, won't get there. And it one hops the wall, a leadoff double for Gonzalez, who was running hard all the way. Justin Case, who was mishandled out there. And that'll give Beckett a chance to get that tying run over to third.
Batting under 200 his last 35 contests, dropping his average from 3. Here he rifles this one out there left center, right up against our favorite sign in left center.
Your favorite Met, Marco Scutaro, is homered, and it's 3-0 Mets
Oh,
at Houston.
Marco.
In the bottom of the fourth.
Marco, nice going.
Beckett is up there, most likely to bunt, but you never know.
Look where Renteria is. Playing closer to third as Roland's going to be charging.
You talk about an open invitation to swing the bat. I mean, there is nobody defending the middle part of the field.
Well, Renteria is going to come here. Roland's here. You got Tino here, and you got the second baseman at the bag. So
and he's going to go over toward first.
Right. So holding them close.
And why not? He chops at it, and the Cardinals catch a break as that ball hops foul.
Joe, and that's what you have to do. If you're going to be the hitter, you have to chop down on the ball. And make sure, as you see, Renteria's here, here, here. This guy's moving here, and you chop down on it and try to catch somebody out of place.
Well, now Tomko, who has only one strikeout, needs his second. Keep that runner at second, pick up the first out. There you go. Strikeout number 2 and out number 1. So the Marlins went after it on that second pitch, tried to be aggressive, tried to accept the invitation from the Cardinals to swing. That brought about strike 2 in the foul ball, and bunting at foul for the third strike is Beckett. Now Pierre.
You get a little bit of a luxury because he is really a singles hitter. You can play him very shallow. JD should come. Yeah, he should come in. JD is way too deep out there and right.
Ball 1 up and away.
Pierre is the toughest to strike out, and he does a good job just by chopping down on the ball. Second in the majors with 119 singles. 85% of his hits this season are singles.
Tomko did not come set for all that long. The count goes to 2-0 with Castillo on deck. But again, ground ball through the right side. Drew, in our opinion, is too deep and right. On the corner, borderline pitch, and Tomko happy to get it 2-1.
Just didn't even look. As you see, Widger, nice job to bring it back and frame it for the umpire, but it looked like it was inside.
So instead of 3-0, it's 2-1. Marlins looking for their first run of the night. Cardinals got their first in the first on an RBI double by who else? Albert Pujols. Gonzalez the tying run at second. 1 out. Won't get the outside corner after getting that inside corner. It's 3-1. A walk to put the go-ahead run on. It's 2 on with 1 out. First walk handed out by Tomko. And the batter will be Castillo. This fall, the NFL returns to Fox as Bill Parcells goes to Dallas to try and return the Cowboys to glory. Jeremy Shockey looks to repeat his incredible rookie season and avoid the sophomore jinx. The biggest stories in the NFL are in the NFC. All together now, the NFC is on Fox. And it starts September 7. Actually, that's not true. It starts a week from tonight. Preseason football on Fox, the Raiders and the 49ers, but we digress. Here is Luis Castillo. Ball 1. Castillo, not a big RBI guy. 29 on the season. Surprising to look up and see that he has 6 home runs.
That's from the right side. He's become a power guy from the right side.
Slapping at it from the left side all series, and the count 1-1.
Slap and run left-handed. He's batting .349 right-handed. with all 6 of his home runs. And you see the singles leaders, and that these 2 guys are true leadoff men. Prior to Pierre coming to the Marlins, Castillo was the leadoff man.
Going to be tough to turn it. A tag and a double play. Bohart. More defensive work from the rookie second baseman. It would have taken too long for a throw. Hart went after Pierre, got him, and took care of the rest. Still 1-0 after 5.5. Bohart stomps to the plate. He just gave Brett Tomko tonight's Pennzoil protection play with that play to his right.
Well, you got such great speed on the bases. It's the only option he had. Tag the runner, go by, and then throw out Castillo. Those guys don't hit into many double plays.
And he leads off with a base hit. It's been a good 3 minutes for Bohart. 1 out of 10 in this series now. And the Cardinals have their leadoff man on for the 2nd consecutive inning.
Hustler all the way. That's why he's become a fan favorite. And base hit goes through, but he's always waiting for some little miscue that he can take an extra base.
Think of the Braves in their hotel rooms, all locked in for the night, their nightcaps on, watching this game in town, weekend series, and they see all that from Bohart. They might not even show up at the park tomorrow night.
You're right.
What's on tap, Al? What's on tap is brought to you by Bud Light. And it's the Braves and Cardinals tomorrow night. Fox Sports Net 6:30 with Cardinals tonight.
If they show up.
If they show. If it's a flat-out forfeit, we'll still bring you Cardinals tonight. 1 on, nobody out. Jim Edmonds at the plate. Jim hitting .294. 1 hit in this set. Becket fires high and wide. Pujols on deck. That's the night for Edmonds. 2 plate appearances, 2 walks, and 1 run scored.
Jimmy's timing's a little bit off, but seeing the ball better by accepting the walks.
Good fastball. 1-1.
Things about Beckett is they said at a young age he's already learned how to add and subtract off his pitches. He doesn't throw his fastball all the time at its maximum velocity.
There's a pretty good one over the inside corner. 1-2. Pujols lurking. Albert 1 out of 2 tonight. 1-0. That's it. Bottom of the 6th inning. Brett Tomko hoping for any chance, any breathing room against this hot Florida club. Spoiled it. They are absolutely dead straight away for Edmonds. Cardinals need one tonight. That is for sure.
Activity in the Marlins bullpen.
Cardinal hitters would drive the helmet car out to that bullpen to get somebody else in this game. The way Beckett is throwing, he is tough.
So Monza and Tahara.
Edmonds out in front, 1 out. Good pitch by Beckett. And for Josh, that is only his 2nd strikeout of the night.
Hey, the Cardinal Wives and the St. Louis Pinch Hitters have published a full-color hardback children's book entitled Baseball from A to Z. Now the cover is done by the Brett Tomko, who was an art major at Florida Southern. He designed the cover of the book. It will retail for $15, with the proceeds going to the Down Syndrome Association and the Lupus Foundation for Pediatric Lupus Awareness. The wives did all the illustrations inside, and they little storyline. A limited quantity of the books will be on sale at the Cardinals crew members only party on Friday, August 8th. Starting on August 19th, the players and wives and pitch hitters will be selling the books at Busch Stadium. For more information, contact the St. Louis Cardinals at 314-421-3060.
That'll get everybody's attention. That pitch up and in.
Man, look at this pitch. How did it miss his elbow?
One ball, no strikes, one on, one out. And a check on Hart. The Astros game is in the 5th at Houston, top of the 5th. Mets lead 3-0 behind Traxel.
Pick up the game we lost last night.
Cardinals start the night 3 out. Cubs are only 2 out at the moment. They won and swept the Padres 1-9-3 today. High heat. 96 on the radar gun at the park, 90 on the radar gun on your screen. RBIs today. Wilson did not record one in the Rockies victory, and Pujols has the only one of the night. 100 on the season. 1-1 pitch. Trying to overthrow, and Andy Fox, even though you said he's never been a catcher in the big leagues, one of the 2 positions he hasn't played, just played one at first base.
Yeah, he did a nice job, as Pudge Rodriguez loves to throw and short arms that one, and there's what you're talking about, a good backstop by Andy Fox, making sure that ball doesn't get by him, let it hit him in the midsection.
That's why he's got that washboard stomach.
Yeah.
That thing just hit all muscle.
In case Pudge ever throws a short hopper to him.
Two 2-1 pitch. Can't get the corner. 3-1. Tino Martinez next. Lefties in the bullpen.
Play him around a little bit the opposite field.
He can get around on anybody.
Yes, he can.
There's a lot of room down that line. 3-1 the count. And a ball 4 to put 2 on for Martinez. Now will Tino see a lefty, or will it still be Becket? Only because the score is 1-0 and his teammates aren't hitting. Becket is doing his part, and they're going to leave him in.
Well, he's never pitched more than 7 innings. We're in the 6th inning here. Still trying to protect him. He's had elbow problems in the past and shoulder problems.
2 on with 1 out, and ball 1 to Tino Martinez. Martinez tonight has grounded out and struck out.
Just 82 pitches thrown.
Very good, but Tomko's been better. 1-0 to Tino Martinez. Didn't get it all. That'll be out number 2. Hart will tag and try to advance to third. Now Pujols is hung up. Now Hart's coming to the plate. The throw there, safe.
Good call. Very good call. As Mike Winters just watched and looked for the hand, as the hand got across the plate ahead of the tag. So you turn a negative into a plus. That's Bo Hart and his hustle.
So a routine fly ball to right produces a precious run. The throw was low enough to be cut off. That was the key. And then look at that dive and that look up at Mike Winters by Hart, saying, did you see what I just did? Getting the hand on the plate well before the tag by Rodriguez. It's 2-0.
Great camera work. You see it from all the angles. And please call me safe.
And now with that, Pujols ends up at second base, and a hit could mean a third run.
Yeah, he times it perfect, and there you see it very clearly. Mike Winters there in perfect position and makes the right call. Cardinals lead 2-0.
Roland has a hit tonight, 2 in this series. 2-0. Again, the throw from Encarnacion was outstanding. It was on line, it was low, it was cut off, and Pujols was caught trying to take an extra base.
Well, they had it out right in front of them, and Albert always aware of where he is, and he was able to stay in a rundown long enough for Hart to take off for home.
2-1 on Roland. 2 runs on 5 hits for the Cardinals. No runs on 2 hits for Florida. Big bats coming up for the Marlins in the 7th. Rodriguez, Lowell, and Encarnacion. 2-1 to Scott Rowland. A little clunker into left. It's 3-0 Cardinals as Albert will score without a play. RBI number 78 for Scott Rowland.
Albert always wants to score, and you got 2 outs. And we've talked about that, how you can do that. 100 runs now for Pujols scored, and he comes in on that RBI single. Jack McKeon makes a long walk and takes out one of his starters.
If Beckett gets a decision, he'll be the loser. The Cardinals will salvage a game of this set. Beckett was going to do a handoff on the move, and Jack McKeon said, "Get back here. Let's talk for a second." Beckett was going to do a quick exit. You don't see that very often, and you talked about the teaching. Beckett even leaves with a smile.
Well,
he was ticked a second ago.
See a little wink from McKeon when he looked at Rodriguez.
That's the touch that Jack McKeon has brought. Cardinals lead it 3-0. Bo Hart and the hustle pays off. Heads up, good base running. Cardinals lead it 3-0. Now we go back to that play, and Gonzalez had the umpire Rob Drake in his way at the beginning of that rundown. Pujols able to stay in it long enough for Hart to make a break for the plate.
Hey Joe,
yeah.
What would happen if Rodriguez took that throw in foul territory behind the plate instead of in front of the plate, to where then he gave him the lane to where he could slide around the tag?
It's a good question, and I think the outcome may have been different. Our call to the bullpen is brought to you by the Renaissance Grand Hotel. Almanza, former Cardinal farmhand, the lefty to pitch to Drew.
Almanza, well, watch here, but what if he was taking it back here? Then he couldn't have done that. He could have gone to the front part, but then you can just kind of dive down, or really just kind of straddled home plate.
1-0 pitch is high. I listen to Tim McCarver every Saturday talk about positioning of catchers on plays at the plate and how that's kind of a lost start as you look at the numbers on the season for Almanza.
High ERA, and opponents are batting .298 off him. 9 home runs allowed. That's quite a bit for a reliever.
2-0 to Drew. Ooh. That was a gift to Almanza. It's 2-1. Cardinals have tripled their lead here in the 6th inning. Drew hitless on the night, average .286. 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Renteria on deck.
Bunting for the base hit with Lowell playing back. Very unselfish, trying to give Renteria that 2-out RBI opportunity.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 out. There are times when Drew will drop down a bunt that makes you scratch your head, but that one didn't bother me as much. Lefty on lefty, and Renteria on deck, and the runners at first.
Good point, Joe. Tough left-hander, and you know they brought him in for a reason. They brought the left-hander to face JD, who's batting .190 off of lefties.
2-2 pitch. Good job just to get a piece. Still 2-2. They're in the top of the 5th inning. Actually moved to the bottom half now with the Mets leading 3-0 in Houston, trying to take 2 of 3 in that series. And that points out another situation. You know, you talk about the Cardinals and their missed opportunities, and they don't beat the teams they should beat. How about the Astros? If they lose 2 of 3 at this time of year at home to the Mets?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they're going perfect either.
Oh, they've allowed the Cubs and the Cardinals to stay in this thing.
2-2 pitch to Drew. Full count. The runner at first, Roland, will go. Again, the bats of Rodriguez, Lowell, and Encarnacion will come to the plate in the top of the 7th against Tomko. Isringhausen is primed and ready for an appearance tonight. So look at the defense. They played to everybody just about in the same spot in the outfield. 2 big innings coming up for Tomko. Roland will go. 3-2 pitch to Drew. That presents 2 on 2 out for Renteria, so that won't make McKeon happy. He brings in Almanza to get the lefty Drew, and he walks him. So Jack McKeon is still playing the role of teacher. We just saw an example of that when he took the ball from Becket. Again, Becket was going to kind of hand it to him on the fly as he made his way to the dugout, and McKeon said, "Hold on, come back." He said something to him, gave him a little wink, and Becket left with a smile on his face.
No, well, yeah, Becket had a smile, but the wink was for Rodriguez.
So Jack was happy with whatever line he came up with for Becket. Renteria off the end of the bat.
And you know, there is a protocol for relief pitchers, you know, or pitchers that are being taken out of a ball game, and their behavior with the pitching coach or a manager.
Almanza makes it tougher on himself by walking Drew. The 0-1 pitch to Renteria, who's driven in 70. That's not close. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big 2-out hit in this inning by Roland. Good base running. Produced another run.
No.
Here comes a 1-1 to Renteria. 2-1.
Monza probably wanted that pitch. Must have been low. Like it was in the middle of the plate. The play looked pretty good too.
Catcher catches that ball with a palm up. Might have hurt the case for that to be called a strike. Here's a 2-1 into center field, right at Pierre. Bad break. Renteria hit it hard, but Juan Pierre made the play. The base running that was good in the inning was by Bo Hart. Made a couple of good defensive plays and slides in with a second run. The Cardinals now lead by 3 after 6. The BDSSP's All-Star Summer is back tonight. They welcome Lakers forward Karl Malone as he gives his thoughts on the Kobe case in the upcoming season with his new team. Plus Jacksonville defensive end Hugh Douglas tells them why he left the Eagles and if the Jaguars are Super Bowl contenders. Former Bulls general manager Jerry Krause tells them why he stepped down and if the Bulls can make it back to the elite in the NBA. It's at 10:30 only on Fox Sports Net. We go to the 7th. Tomko against Ivan Rodriguez. Now, if I'm Tony La Russa, I have guys stirring in the bullpen. Nobody warming up. But if history teaches you anything, get somebody loose just in case Tomko hits a clunker here in the 7th inning. And you look at what Bo Hart and his contributions have been tonight. That play, the double play to end the scoring threat, and sliding in hand first for the second run. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rodriguez, who is 0 for 2.
Well, when you got the base hit, you said Bo Hart starring the last 3 minutes. He extended his fame a little bit longer, didn't he?
It's really been a good 9-10 minutes for him.
You know, Joe, in old-time baseball,
2-1.
to follow your thought, at this stage of a game, you would have a left-hander and a right-hander warming up pitch for pitch with your starter. I think it's much better the way they treat the relievers today.
Here's a leadoff base hit. Let me say it again. If I'm Tony La Russa and Tomko, who's pitched brilliantly in this game, goes back to work in the 7th, I would have guys stirring, and now I would have guys warming in that bullpen.
Well, he thought about it, and then he closed the bullpen phone. You know, he needs you and James to help him out.
I know he really wants my help, needs my help. 1 on, nobody out. Here is Lowell. And a high strike. Dangerous pitch to Lowell, who has hit 30 home runs.
One thing they do have is a communication to where they will have pitchers step off, do all kinds of things while you get that relief pitcher the extra pitches.
Not well hit, off the hands more or less, and Edman squeezes out number 1. And the only reason why I bring that up is just because Tomko has struggled in the middle of the late innings, and I don't care what our Geico Direct Moment quote was early in the game.
Remember, he doesn't worry about
He
those
doesn't worry
things.
about the fact that he's never won a game at Busch Stadium. However, just in case there's a little slip here in the 7th, just to have somebody available if needed. That's it. I'm rooting for Tomko, and gosh darn it, I think he's going to get through this 7th without giving up a run, but just in case. Encarnacion takes over but low, ball 1.
And we do already know he's going to get that first win.
Ow, ow, come on now.
Oh, it's automatic.
1-0 pitch. Like Tomko took something off that pitch, like he was throwing a dart. 1 ball, 1 strike. Encarnacion has hit 12 home runs. He's driven in 67. 500 hitter in this series, 5 out of 10.
And all these positive vibes, and then you throw that negative out.
The 1-1. Good tailing pitch. 1-2. I would bet, Al, that one of the reasons why Tony La Russa doesn't want to get somebody up right now is so that Tomko isn't peeking out over that wall to see if somebody's getting loose. Try to keep him positive out on that mound as the count is in Tomko's favor. 1-2. Off the end of the bat.
You know, Joe, that's a very good point, because some people, and I'm not saying Tomko, but their psyche is so small that they just, when they see somebody warming up,
Fragile.
Fragile is a good word. You know, it gets to them. They think that, okay, you know, they don't have confidence in me. But it's a tough game to play as a manager. You know, do you protect somebody's fragile psyche, or do you try to win games?
Runner at first, a leadoff hit by Rodriguez. Lowell fly to center, and it's still 1-2 as Widger takes a peek up at Juan Encarnacion.
Fastball in.
And in enough that Encarnacion didn't hammer it.
Duncan looking on, has to be pleased with what he's seen. And Widger's done a nice job of mixing pitches. There's the slider now. Looks up to make sure he's not peeking.
Widger blocks it. Rodriguez is trapped, but Widger was looking to second instead of first.
And he kind of, it's a tough thing to do, and he did it because if you're thinking, your mind's thinking second base, and if you try to alter it as he tries to slide over here and block the ball, kept it relatively in front of him, and you see he's out there looking at second, and a lot of times if you try to change direction, you throw it away.
2 out. A strikeout for Tomko, and that is only his 3rd of the night.
And it's a big one.
So with those two watching like hawks, Tomko is turning in another good one against the Marlins.
You know, Joe, I think you touched on something. that Tony La Russa is trying to get his team to realize is that don't be looking for that front office help, and the guys that are here are good enough.
Fox. Ball one high. The Astros have caught Traxel and the Mets. It's 3-3 going to the 6th inning at Houston.
I didn't think you could wear our favorite network on the back of your shirt.
For certain guys, they make exceptions, and that's the case with
Fox.
His real name is Smith. That makes it 1 ball, 1 strike.
Do you remember Andy Messersmith?
Yes.
First free agent.
Yes.
When he first went to Atlanta, his number was 17, and they put channel because WTBS was channel 17. Major League Baseball made him change.
1-1 pitch. 2 balls and a strike. That's when it's good to have a firmly entrenched commissioner to put an end to such shenanigans. Ted Turner didn't last long in the dugout either managing, if I recall correctly.
Well, what had happened, I'm trying to, was it Luman Harris? I think was the manager.
Into left field. That, ladies and gentlemen, is 7 fantastic shutout innings on 3 hits from Brett Tomko. Cardinals trying to avoid the sweep. Tomko trying to get his first win ever at Busch Stadium, up by 3. This portion of Cardinal Baseball on Fox Sports Net is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of innovative motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. You ever been on it, Al? You ever been on MetroLink?
Yes, I have. I've been on MetroLink. Thought you meant an all-terrain field.
No, I know you've been on one of those. Congratulations to Pat Peeler, today's merchandise prize winner in the Hyundai Long Drive Inning Sweepstakes. Cardinals hit a home run in the 7th. Who do you have, Pat? Who do you have? Widger, Tomko, and Hart. Pat Peeler qualify for the grand prize drawing of a Hyundai Elantra GT at the end of the season. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer to complete an entry form.
Hey, Pat's got it made. As I said, Widger's going to get a home run. Tomko's going to get a home run. And just for good measure, Bo's going to get a home run. All in this inning.
Widger 4 RBIs as a Cardinal, a 149 average, no home runs. Almanza misses down and in with ball 1. Armando got out of the bottom of the 6th. He walked through, but Renteria hit a sinking line drive that stayed up enough for Juan Pierre in center to make the grab. 1-0 pitch. Maybe in the next at bat.
Maybe.
Castillo. 1 out. Coming up after the game on the Midwest Sports Report, is Pavel Demitra worth it? His new deal won't help with the Blues savings account. We'll talk about it tonight. Also tonight, who will win the battles for 3rd and 4th wide receiver slots for the Rams? A look at the candidates, plus reaction from inside the Cardinals clubhouse, and a post-game wrap from us. That's all coming up after the game on the Midwest Sports Report. Tomko is at the plate.
Shanna Jones, Mount Vernon, Illinois, wants to wish happy birthday, happy 21st birthday to our good buddy Alex Gerberling.
Tomko has a hit tonight, one of only 6 for the Cardinals.
Alex, Tomko's going to get a home run for you, and one for Pat too. Alex's 21st birthday.
Be careful. 0-1. 0-2. 31,002.
Almanza was part of that Renteria trade. Remember we were told about the soft tossing left-hander.
Tomko back to Armando. 2 out.
And the first time we saw him, he was throwing 95.
With the bases empty, Bo Hart will give Tomko a chance to go over and take a seat. And Jack McKeon will take this traveling show to Milwaukee after this game is over. So a nice little Midwest trip. Bo Hart tonight. Little double play to get Tomko out of trouble in the 6th. The head first dive, and he's even courteous to his teammates, not only bringing out Renteria's glove and hat, but Rollins as well. That's what the rookies do. Ball one outside.
It's that kind of guy.
An all-around fun-loving guy. Well liked by his peers. Trying to hit his 4th home run. 1 ball, 1 strike. I started to say 31,002 is the attendance here tonight.
Fireworks tomorrow night.
That, as we have said, can only be seen
Only
from
could be
inside the
seen.
ballpark.
Hey, they're starting to set up 30 to 40 different spots at the stadium. They're going to launch these fireworks, specially designed for Busch Stadium,
right?
after and a little bit during the game from the Cardinal batters.
Tim Garcia is really excited about the fact that they've started to set up for that.
He's informed us.
2-1 pitch. 2-2.
Start showing all the locations. Low fireworks, so you can't see them from outside. Got to be in the ballpark.
2-2 pitch to Hart with the bases empty. A chopper and a tough play. If it's fair, it is a foul ball.
Hey, I was talking about Lumen Harris when he was managing, and Ted Turner said they were going through a losing streak. So he said, hey, you're not fired. Just go home for a couple days. I'll take over as manager. I'll sit in the dugout and I'll figure out what's going on. Got in uniform, went out with a lineup card, and he lasted 1 day as the manager before the commissioner stepped in that time too.
The rookie batting average leaders, Jason Phillips of the Mets, somebody named Bird, and Bo Hart. Marlon Bird hitting .310.
Phillies.
Hart strikes out. We were going to talk about the few number of strikeouts the Cardinals have compiled this season, but a strikeout ends the 7th. We go to the 8th. Still 3-0 Cardinals. It is 3-0 Cardinals as the game moves to the top of the 8th. Now Tony La Russa's on the phone, and our Bank of America higher standards. Second fewest strikeouts in the National League belong to the Cardinals. 640 on the season. 640 just came to end the 7th inning, but only 3 on the night. Becket, strikeout type pitcher, struck out only 2 in 5 2/3 innings. Now Tomko is back to the hill. Bottom part of the order. And strike 1 on Hollingsworth with Gonzalez, and then the pitcher's spot to follow. Simon Tachi.
That's had a bunch of injuries.
Oh, 1 pitch. He had a break and then an infection after a foul ball. Swung at a pitch, fouled it off his leg and foot, and it just got nasty.
Yeah, I don't think they really knew that it was fractured for a couple months.
0-2 pitch. Hollingsworth rips it foul. Thank goodness that human that is seated over there down the right side was not thrilled by that foul ball. And he's just sitting there smiling and thanking his lucky stars. 0-2 the count on Hollingsworth. Be nice to get the leadoff man up by 3 in the 8th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There are just certain teams that pitchers like to face, and the Marlins are in that category for Brett. But worlds are colliding here because he's pitching against the team he likes to face in a ballpark where he's never won.
He's never lost to the Fish. 3-0.
1-2 pitch. Got him on the outside corner. Strikeout number 4 for Brett Tomko, and the leadoff man is gone, and Hollingsworth is still talking to Mike Winters, the home plate umpire, about strike 3.
Well, he's pitched tonight. He's used all of his pitches on both sides of the plate. He's been aggressive. And there he just paints the outside corner. But it's set up with a couple pitches that were inside.
Can't blame Hollingsworth for not liking that pitch.
This is what's frustrating about Tomko is he has some of the better stuff on the staff.
How about 2 outs in the 8th inning if somebody can catch this? Bo Hart. Base is empty. Gonzalez is gone.
JD almost ran by him as Bo Hart backpedaling to catch it.
Gonzalez was not too pleased, and Tomko is 1 out away from getting through 8 shutout innings.
Ryan Banks is going to pinch hit here for Almanza.
Four home runs on the season for Banks as he takes a wide strike.
And Braden Looper will come in to pitch the bottom of the 8th and last inning for the Cardinals.
Well, prior to tonight, we haven't seen anybody off the Marlins bench, and we've seen only 2 pitchers out of their bullpen. Tonight, a different story. 1 and 2 on Banks. This Banks as a pinch hitter is 5 out of 31. Tomko is ahead on the count. 1 ball 2 strikes. He has 4 strikeouts on the night. Banks takes ball 2.
Actually has gotten better as the game has gone along of pitching ahead in the count.
Tomko, if he gets Banks, I'm sure will trot out there with a shot for his 2nd complete game of the season.
I don't know about that because Izzy's warming up now.
I'm betting Tomko's going back. You heard it here first. 3-0 into the bottom of the 8th. Brett Tomko, all smiles in the dugout, and he should be smiling. 3-hit shutout through 8. He will go back and pitch in the 9th as Braden Looper gets loose. 3 Ford Ranger, $3,000 cash back or 0% financing for 60 months to qualified buyers. You heard right, Cardinal fans. $3,000 cash back or 0% financing. Ford and your quality Ford stores, your home run to Cardinal baseball fun. Call in. Brought to you by the Renaissance Grand Hotel, and a young man who came up through the Cardinal organization. Got a save on opening day, or actually had a chance for a save on opening day back in 1998. Now he's been with Florida for his 5th year, and he is the closer for the Marlins.
Remember, he blew away the Dodgers in that first game, and he was part along with Almanza, and remember the little infielder, I'll think of his name,
Pablo
Osuna, who a lot of people said, oh my goodness, how can you give up Osuna? They all were part of the Renteria trade, and then we found out after 9/11 when Latin players were checking their birth certificates that Osuna was older than Renteria.
He's actually 72 years old, the same age as Jack McKeon, the manager of the Marlins.
I was going to say that.
That's a play off the bat of Edmonds. Strike 1. Edmonds tonight has walked twice, scored once, struck out once.
Only 1 for 8 in the series, but
Cardinals waiting for him to get his stroke back together. He held up. 1 ball 1 strike.
let's hope he holds together and can play virtually every day the rest of the way. That's what you're really asking the guys to do now.
There's a shot foul down the left field line. It sounded like Edmonds broke his bat. He did. I'm a Christian, the bat boy. He was near the on deck circle with an extra bat just in case. That's the mark of a good bat boy.
And speed up rules.
Friday, August 22nd, the Cardinals play the Phillies. It's the Shane Company mousepad night at the ballpark. The first 25,000 fans 16 and over receive a computer mousepad courtesy of the Shane Company. Friday, August 22nd. Cardinals and Phillies. 421-2400 or log on And eventually you can use that mouse pad as you're logging on in future days to STLCardinals.com. 2-2 on it.
Can't believe it. Only 29,000 tickets are sold for that game. Plenty of seats available for the entire Phillies series, the Pirates series, and especially the Cubs.
Here's a 2-2 to Edmonds. One out. Braden Looper gets the strikeout on a pitch up and out of the strike zone. The Mets have added to their lead. They lead 5-3 at the top of the 7th at Houston. Here's Pujols. Only one hit tonight, but that's enough to continue his hitting streak. It's now 21.
Well, he scored his 100th run, drove in his 100th RBI, and a 21 game hitting streak. Time for a second hit tonight.
4 home runs short of Bonds, top guy in the National League with 34. Our Nextel Direct Connect hit. Looking back, was that first run driven in by Pujols. That double into right center field, and that gave Brett Tomko that one run, and he has been fantastic. But that line in red, 373, 30, 100. Here on August 7th. 2-1 on Albert. That'll stay in play. Castillo calls off Fox. 2 out. Tino Martinez will bat. Tino produced a fly ball to right that gave us probably the most exciting play of the night. Back in the 6th inning, with runners at first and second, Hart the runner at second, Pujols on at first. Routine fly ball to right. Hart was tagging, advancing to third. The throw to third by Encarnacion was cut off. Pujols got caught in a rundown, and Hart took off for the plate and made it. Even though the throw beat him, he got under the tag applied by Ivan Rodriguez. His hand on the plate was 2-0. And then Roland followed with a clunker into left center field to make it 3-0, and it's still 3-0. 1-1 on Tino. Martinez golfs one to second. Castillo takes care of it. We have played 8. Tomko will try for his second complete game of the season. Or will he? 3-0. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Net, brought to you by Smooth Bush Beer and easy drinking Bush Light. Top of the order for the Marlins. The hot hitter with smooth base running is the Ford Focus with $2,000 cash back. Below 0% financing to qualified buyers. Ford in your quality Ford stores. Your home run to Cardinal baseball fun. Pierre first up. Strike one. Isringhausen getting ready, but Tomko is going after his second complete game of the season. Both would be against the Marlins if he gets it tonight. That will get out of play. 0-2.
Joe, how many career shutouts does Tomko have?
1. None. 2, 3. How many?
He's about to get one.
He's got zip.
Zip.
Pujols is at first base. Kerry Robinson went into the game and left, and Tino Martinez is out. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Juan Pierre.
He has only thrown 2 shutouts in his professional career, and those were in 2001 at Tacoma.
That's when he was up and down with the Seattle Mariners after being part of the Ken Griffey Jr. trade. 2-2 on Pierre. I wonder how many base runners Tomko is going to be allowed if he doesn't get Pierre.
I'm thinking 1.
I think 1. That's it. And Isringhausen, well, you can't mess around with this game. this one.
Not the way we've been playing of late. You got to win every game. You got to lead.
Still 2-2. The copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the St. Louis Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Here's a 2-2 to the leadoff man Pierre here in the 9th inning. Here we go. Base hit up the middle, and that, I'm going to guess, is going to be it for Tomko, but we will wait and see. Isringhausen is ready. Russa is ready to launch himself out of the dugout, and this is the last pitch of the night for Brett Tomko.
You give him a shot at it, but you fail to get a runner. It's too important to get the win, but you also keep it a very positive outing for Brett Tomko, and he'll get a nice standing ovation.
Right-hander who has never won at Busch Stadium turns it over to Isringhausen and says, win it for me, save it for me. Cardinals lead 3-0 in the ninth. 3-0 Cardinals. A man on, nobody out. Top of the 9th inning. Our play of the game is brought to you by Budweiser. The best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. Base running play by Bo Hart took off with Pujols in a rundown and got the hand on the plate before the tag hit his backside from Ivan Rodriguez. And here is Isringhausen looking for the save, trying to go 9 for 10.
See, ERA 2.41. Opponents batting 2.14 against him.
Tony La Russa sent Tomko back out to try to get the complete game. A leadoff base hit by Pierre. Only 4 hits tonight for Florida. And Castillo looks like he's willing to take a strike, and Isringhausen hasn't been close for the first 2.
Oh. Ew.
2-0 pitch. Not only these missed, but they don't have much zip on them.
No, they really don't look like he's throwing them. Typical Izzy stuff.
Not close. A 4-pitch walk, and that brings up the tying run. And if you're Tomko on the bench, if you didn't go in thinking about he's never had a win at Busch Stadium, look at him pacing down at the end of that dugout. He's thinking about it now. 2 on, nobody out. And Ivan Rodriguez, who's homered in this series 1 out of 3 tonight, is at the plate.
Well, a lot of times when Tomko and Garrett Stevenson have pitched extremely well, they have seen leads disappear. But that's not going to be the case here tonight. But Izzy's going to have to earn this one.
Strike 1 to Ivan Rodriguez.
And he was up there taking. Sometimes as a pitcher, you know a guy is taking, and yet it's still hard to throw a strike.
There's a good breaking ball. It's 0-2. There are many closers with that kind of a curveball that Isringhausen features, and in his career, a lot of head-to-head battles in the American League. Hitless is Ivan Rodriguez against the now Cardinal closer. Most anxious moments of the night for Brett Tomko, watching Isringhausen try and get the final 3 outs. Up by 3, 2 on for Rodriguez. Got him. Just blew it right by him. 1 out.
Now he's zeroed in. But here comes Mike Lowell after you see the strikeout pitch. Goes right on through it, and a little cheer. You know, when you're on the mound, you feel like you have control. when you're in the dugout, it's hopeless. You know, you're just helpless. You're rooting for your teammates, but it's much easier when you're on the mound.
2 on with 1 out. Mike Lowell. 30 home runs for the Florida third baseman.
Don't even think that.
Gotta say it. Also a double play candidate.
That's better.
Great speed on for the Marlins, but the man at the plate, the key, the 0-1. That's right side and playable. Bohart with the best angle on it, but it's Pujols with a play. Tagging and heading to third, and making it is Pierre. And it's first and third, 2 out, but a big out as Lowell is erased. And now it's Encarnacion.
You want to preserve that shutout, but still that runner at third doesn't really mean much.
Encarnacion walks in. 0 for 3.
Pujols makes the play and makes a pretty strong and accurate throw. When he was at Peoria, he was rated as the best infield throwing arm in the Midwest League.
Former third baseman. A battle between Isringhausen and Encarnacion. Cardinals trying to salvage a game of this series, and a strike. Slides over the inside corner.
When's the last time we saw a team like the Marlins that have all gone up there taking a first pitch strike or taking a strike?
I don't know that I ever have. 0-1. Breaking ball stays high. Whatever the final is here tonight, the Cardinals and fans who watch this series, and I know us, will say goodbye to a very good Marlins team, and
yes,
we'll come away impressed with what they've done in Florida. 1-1 pitch, first and third, 2 out. 1 strike away is Brett Tomko and the Cardinals of a win here at Busch.
Now take a look at it. It looks like Izzy almost has as much confidence in his breaking ball tonight as he does his fastball. Fastball away.
Tried to just blow that one by Encarnacion, and a very defensive swing by Juan to stay up there.
But it was the right swing. He does stay up there, and as I said, it looks like he has a lot of confidence in his breaking ball, but if you're going to hang one, the breaking ball is the one that you hang. There's the breaking ball. Didn't want it. This is his natural cutter.
That's going to drop untouched and out of play. 2 good swings by Encarnacion with 2 strikes.
Yeah, defensive swings, but you know, you try and stay up there waiting for the mistake. And throwing their breaking balls away. Look at you play very deep. Gary, it'd be very difficult for a ball to get over his head and not leave the ballpark. But that's the way you play it. If you want the fastball in, here's the curveball.
Good pitch, and Encarnacion just got a piece.
You're right, Joe. It's sitting up there. It's 12-6. You know, it's not as big as, say, like a Matt Morris when he's throwing his well. Brett Tomko still sweating it out. But the nice thing is he's ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Tying run at the plate.
Fastball in. You got to be careful here. You are ahead in the count. Don't have to throw a strike.
Got him, and the game is over. The Cardinals win, and Brett Tomko has his first victory ever at Busch Stadium. He pitched extremely well, and he deserves this win here tonight. Cardinals avoid the sweep as Tomko turns in one of his best, and right now one of his most important starts as a Cardinal.
Yeah, everything right now is magnified, and that was huge for the rest of the season.
We'll be back at you tomorrow night, first of 3 with the Atlanta Braves. For Al and Dan, I'm Joe. It's time for the Midwest Sports Report. Let's go to the studio.